Good evening, welcome to the Board of Water and Sewer Commissioners, November 1st, 2017 meeting. The first thing on the agenda is the acceptance of the October 4th, 2017 minutes. If we can take a peek.
I'll make a motion to be accepted as printed.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Unanimous. The meeting acceptance of the minutes as read. Moving right along, John Meehan, Water and Sewer report.
And in your packet, you have the, what we have in retained earnings from the DOR. Just the,
So that is official.
that is official, it came from the DOR. So that's what we have. We're doing very well.
Looks it.
All right. On the sewer department side, they read well meters, then they read the second meters that for outdoor watering, and then they read water department water meters. They put rags out of motors on Ryan's Road and on Pondfield. Methuen ordered the motors for Ryan's Road and Luther. He thought it would only take a week to get them, but it takes 3 to 4 weeks. He didn't want to have them sitting there and not get paid for them. So he figured it was going to be a week, and ended up being 3 to 4 weeks. So he's getting it now, and Wakeview Ave station is done now. They used to run a minute and a half pumping it down. Now it only runs 30 seconds to pump it down. So just to save you on electricity alone, you know. Yes. All right. Remember last week we were talking about, our last meeting we were talking about Patterson Ave, about maybe fixing that station up. Ruby Electric came in with a price of 35 grand just for the station, but that's not sharpening his pencil. That's just a ballpark price. Come to find out that we have to run a 2-inch water main and sewer main 840 feet up the street to tie into that manhole. Okay, that's not included in that 35 grand. So I did a little checking around, and I can't see any reason why the water department and the sewer department together, for $1,000, that's what it's going to cost for the pipe. We can lay it in, put up the street, get it into the manhole, bring it down to the pump station, and when they're ready to go, they can just tie right into the 2-inch, because the 2-inch has to be in there when they do the station, because it will not work in the 4-inch main. So, and I also...
What street is that?
Huh?
What street?
Patterson Ave. And I figured out what it's going to cost for hot top is about $1,500 to do that. So under 3 grand, we can have that pipe down the street ready to go when the board decides to do that station over.
2-inch main?
Yeah. So I think it'll be a real good project for 3 grand. Lay it down, go down the street, lay it in there, and the board can decide if they want to go with the new pump station.
When do you think we want to have a final on that, like around February or March? Well, earlier so you can do your bidding and order material? Because he has to bring in other subs.
Right.
To work with him.
Yes. But I'm thinking, so when springtime comes, you know, you want to figure out what we're doing, I can take 3 grand right out of operations with the sewer department, and I believe I can lay that pipe down there, and we can wait until...
Be ahead of the game?
Be ahead of the game, because it has to be in there before they even start the station.
Yeah.
That's a good deal. That's a good price to do it yourself.
Yeah.
That 30,000 you talked
35,
about? 35,000 to rebuild the station?
That is everything brand new in there, instead of what the old pot they have there and all that, these 2 submergible motors in these tanks, and they're going to alternate back and forth, just like, almost like the ones that they have in front of their houses now, that pushes it out, grinding pumps and all that.
Okay, do they, after this last town meeting, $20,000 limit,
Yep,
we have to go to capital improvement.
right.
If
But the whole thing is that, like I said, he didn't sharpen his pencil, but I'm sure it's not gonna drop it down below 20, okay?
No.
So we're still looking at it. But the whole thing is I think it'd be a great job for the water and sewer department together to lay that 2-inch main down there, get it tied into the manhole, everything's all set, then have this guy sharpen his pencil, get the real figure what it's gonna cost, and once that's done, the
Well,
station.
the bottom line is you've been babysitting a 1950s installation and you spent a ton of money on it, wasted a ton of money this year already problem solving.
Yes.
We know it's original, late
I mean,
40s, early
within-
50s. It's-
Within the last 2 months, I spent over 30 hours in overtime down there.
Does
And
that-
you use water now.
Right.
You can get rid of that water fee,
Yeah, that's a $400 bill every 3 months. That's how much water it uses.
push the sewage, it's hard to believe.
So
Yeah.
I think, you know,
You talking about doing that main in the fall here or next
no,
spring?
no, let's wait until the springtime, make sure everything's all set with the budget. You know, I have a couple months left before it gets real hot, say in April. We can go down the street, I figure it's gonna take me a little over a week to put it in and pave it. You're paying for us anyway, to be there. Run the back load and run it down, get all the guys together, lay the pipe in, get it right down to the sewer station, get it all tied into the well. When we decide on doing it, they just come right up, disconnect the 4-inch, right into the 2-inch, done. Because the 2-inch has to be there when they
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
And we originally were thinking about snaking a 2-inch down to 4-inch. But we're trying to figure out how you're gonna pull 840 feet through a 4-inch main. Right, so I figured, I want to get the price, it's only $1,000 for the 2-inch pipe. We can run it right down the gutter on the street, all the way down there.
Yeah, running
You
in the
could
gutter.
slip line the pipe
Yeah.
down the floor, but you'd have to blow a line down
Right,
with an air compressor.
well, we're trying to
That
figure
might
out
not
different
work
ways.
out too bad.
Yeah,
That's
but the
what
whole
I'm
thing is, if we run
And
into
still keep the
problem.
pump chamber running, so now you gotta keep the system
Yeah.
running.
Right.
While you're trying to sleeve it.
Right, so if we run into a snag, it's a big
Yeah,
mess.
it's a lot easier.
So this way, we'll put it right down the gutter of the street, it's there. Once we come out of the sewer station, tie right in and be done.
Makes sense.
So I think it'll be a nice project to get done with the boys. All right, on the water side, we were flushing hydrants around town. We still have the low zone to flush. We tapped the mains at 28 Mill Road and 48 Alton Drive and paved the road. We found the sewer and water service at 6 Oxford Ave, that vacant lot that we did, the old lumber yard. We had no idea where it was. Well, we found the water and sewer, and they're both in the same trench. So at least we found it, because we didn't know where the heck it was. We read water meters. Toomey came down and tested the master meters at the pump station. We had a main break on JB Ave. The water main project on Milk Street and Pine Street is all paid off, we're done, and we have a little over $1,000 left. So it was a great project, and we under budget. Stonkus Hydraulic is coming down Friday to inspect our PIV valves on Route 31 and on Mason Road. Our annual inspection, they go through it, repair it, make sure it's still working. Kyle Soccer will be coming down this month to do the half the town on leak detection. DEP is coming down on the 29th and 30th to do their sanitary survey on all my pump stations, on all my record keeping. They tear the whole place apart, and it's for 2 days they come down. So we got a lot of stuff to pull together and get together. We got the trucks at the town meeting, ordering them in about 2 weeks once Aura gets the okay from the Boston that it's official and all that. The sewer department truck will be gray. It will not be green, because they want $3,000 to paint the truck green. It's going to be gray, and we'll put sewer right on it so everybody knows. It's like the same thing the highway's doing. They're not getting the trucks painted either. They come in gray.
Yeah, it comes through gray, yeah.
It's no cost. And the water department truck come in blue, no cost. So that's what I have.
I can't think of anything else right now. Things have been pretty smooth. Thank God you guys appreciate the guys going out there tonight. You know what, 1 o'clock in the morning?
1 o'clock in the morning, everybody showed up.
Yeah.
So makes it nice, you know?
Say thank you to them.
Yeah, and I tell you one thing, the water and sewer department are working great together. You know, anytime we need somebody, the other guy comes over and helps us. Like Michael was reading the well meters, my guys were over there helping at the same time, reading them. You know, we got some time, we'll grab some books, go read them, you know, instead of him getting there with it all the time. So we're working it out great, everything's working out fine. He's learning our job, and my guys are learning his job. You know, so it's working out real good.
Your inventory's good for the winter now, for repair parts?
Yes.
Water main breaks, et cetera?
Oh, yeah,
If you need
oh,
anything?
yeah.
Yeah, that's what
If I use one, I buy two.
Yeah.
You know, if I need one, I go get one and put
Yes.
one on the shelf.
Especially you don't wanna get,
Yep.
What,
you know,
the new Perk, we got the okay for,
Yes, yes.
I heard they authorized SIG to go to
The recycling center.
recycling
Yep.
center.
Michael is now the assistant plant operator,
Okay,
so now we got 30 days to wait before we put in for a laborer for the sewer department. I mean, 90 days.
Oh, so we have to,
Michael has 90 days to decide if he wants that job or not.
Which one?
The one he took at the assistant plant operator.
Oh, all right.
And then one guy takes the laborer's job, it's another 90 days to see it.
So, okay, so, and Sig got the recycling center?
Sig is at the recycling center, started yesterday.
So he's back to work, he's off the
Yep.
injury list.
Good.
Yep, so
That's
it's
good.
working out good. And
Yeah.
like I said, the water and sewer department are working great together, and matter of fact, I had my guys go down and pull the rags out of the motors, and Michael stood in and showed them how to do it. So everybody's learning each other, and when Michael's at the job site, he's asking questions, why this, why that, about the water, and he's learning the water parts. So everything's starting to.
just keep track of who's
Oh,
doing
yeah,
what,
so
both
yeah,
sides,
I
and-
got a sheet up there for every month, every day, you know, how many hours somebody works for a different department.
So we can make sure that we even that off at the end.
Yeah,
of-
well,
yeah.
like the other night with the main breaker, 4 hours. Michael automatically gets paid 4 hours overtime for being out there with us through the water department money.
Okay.
So that doesn't have to be on the list because.
We
it's
just
already
have to
paid.
make sure that,
Oh, yeah, believe me,
DOR
I know
wants-
that's a big thing with DOR and you, and so everything's going.
okay,
That's all I have.
Any business next?
We had a bill that we just paid for, Mike's physical. And I was wondering why we got a side bill for that when he couldn't, you know, you could put that on his Blue Cross Blue Shield, no? That's what you have for insurance?
Yeah.
Right, because when I used to go for my DOT physical, it'd be Blue Cross paid for it. And it cost you
and just
$15.
how it was submitted.
Was this job related?
Well, he needs that to work for the town, to
George,
drive the truck. No, it was Mike, wasn't it?
It was Mike.
Mike's DOT physical.
oh, yes, the DOT
Right.
physical, yes.
Right, but I mean, when I go for mine, I don't drive a truck like that anymore. Blue Cross paid for it, and it cost $15. All right, so we paid for it, it was what, 180? You know what I mean? That's just a question, you know, I'm wondering why it wasn't done
Question.
like that, because, you know, he's got Blue Cross through the town, I would think Blue Cross would pay for it, it always paid for mine. I never paid for mine except $15.
I don't know anything about what the insurance covers and what.
So we,
Well,
in
I
other words,
wondered
we-
why he
in other
went-
words, he went for his physical.
He would have to
but
submit it on his own
then he's-
personal
then,
insurance.
It wasn't his so-called yearly, let's say, health physical. It was mandated by the town of Dudley?
Yes,
To stay.
well, the state,
It's
yeah.
not the town, it's the
well,
state.
The town sets up
The
the
register.
appointment and says,
I mean, the only thing you can do is you can ask the proper people.
Well, I
Right,
just
the town
wondered
treasurer
why
and
you
the town
wouldn't go to your
accountant,
regular
to see what
doctor
the
to get
policy
it.
is?
You'd have to, I
That's
mean,
what I do.
it's the town's responsibility to pay for it, or our responsibility to pay for those physicals. That's the bottom line. If he were to submit it to his personal insurance, and his personal insurance paid it, and then submit for the $15 copay, you know, so
Well,
be
no,
it.
I wondered that, because
Yeah.
like I say, I had to get one for 16 years.
It's
And
probably.
I had to go every other year because I take blood pressure medication,
Yep,
and I never paid for it except the copay, that's all. That was just,
I have no idea. Outside asking Richard,
yeah, I have
who's
no idea.
responsible for this?
all right,
yeah.
I have no idea.
that's fine.
But if it's part of his job description, maybe, like you say, to be employed by the town of Dudley, you know.
Like I say, I don't know how it worked, but when I had to drive
Yeah.
that truck, you had to have
Yeah.
that license.
Yeah.
And they didn't pay for it, you paid for it yourself.
Well,
Your
I'm-
insurance
Yeah.
Well, that's.
paid for the
yeah,
physical.
yeah.
You know, it didn't cost you anything, it was part of your insurance,
I don't know.
you know?
Find out.
Part of his contract that we pay.
Well, I believe so, yes, because it's the same thing with the highway. The highway goes there, you turn around, submit it to the town pays for it.
Well, how many guys get physicals that way? All the guys?
Anybody that has
Any- a dump
a
truck.
license.
Oh, hydraulic, anybody with a
CDL.
license, CDL or hydraulic?
Yeah, that's DOT mandatory.
But does it say in the contract that? the
Don't
town-
forget now, some guys, it's like 5 years in between,
Mhm.
all right? But if you take any kind of blood pressure
Always has.
medication, it can be 1 year. You know,
Always
1 year,
has.
2 year, 3 years, or whatever the doctor chooses. And they run it through the state, you know?
Well, in that case, who tells him he has to have it, or anyone they have to have it?
Well, it'll
done?
expire.
Oh,
right
oh,
on
it's-
it.
oh,
It's
expiration date.
right
Well,
on.
what they end up doing is calling the town, and town says, okay, this guy needs to get his DOT, and the town sets up the DOT
Oh, the
thing.
town set that up?
Yeah,
That explains it then. That explains why he went to that place.
oh, yeah, okay, I'm sorry,
Oh, that
yes,
was
yes.
set
That's
up
why he didn't go to his
Yeah,
personal.
Yeah, yeah, the
okay,
town
all
sets it
right.
up.
Oh, okay, that answers it.
That
then.
explains it.
Okay,
Okay.
all right.
Okay, now we good.
All right.
All right, other than that, I think we're good.
Any other business?
Just town meeting, yeah, we did get our trucks, capital improvement, we're no longer exempt from having to speak with them. A lot of back and forth and discussion, on the floor and off the floor.
What was the reason behind it?
All departments should be. And then that part of it makes sense.
Well, they want
I
to
don't-
see, they want to see our 5-year plan, what we thinking of doing 5-year. The only thing I can see is if, okay, if they saw us doing a water main on Mill Street and Pine Street, maybe the highway wanted to get in there, do the drainage pipe at the same time, or something like that, which would have been a great idea. But why they want to see our 5-year plan and start questioning what we're doing, since we're the only department in the black. You
And
know,
we're run by,
by
users, you
Yeah.
know, that's it,
Enterprise,
just
yeah.
the users.
But it's still a town department.
Yeah, you still
They
follow
want us
town
to report to
regulations.
that, so the limit was 25,000, and this town meeting reduced it to 20. So now,
Well, even-
my argument was that we can't do much of anything for $20,000.
Yeah, like Patterson Ave is gonna be, $40,000. But see, that's something, I don't get going through them, because that could become an emergency where that thing goes down, and now you have to stop what you got going and fix it,
Well,
do a
that-
bypass.
They say that emergencies are, yeah, I don't know how that's gonna
My
work.
question is, they don't know the system, they don't know the
Right,
the
right.
ins and out of the water or the sewer department.
Well, you're gonna have 10 houses if that system goes down on Patterson Avenue, you're gonna have to bring a truck in and do a bypass. So you don't overflow it, go right in the pond,
Right.
in High Pond,
Yep.
so.
So, in that, one selectman made a comment about, I asked years ago of getting monthly reports about what's going on. I spoke with their secretary, I spoke with other of the Board of Selectmen, none of them much care. There's one person that really cares. So, in speaking with Laurie and with Michelle, unless anybody has, I don't see why it would be a problem with public information. After we approve our minutes,
the
I
public
just
record.
send a copy over to the selectmen's office, they can slip it in that one person's drawer and be done with it.
Yeah, they wanted it beforehand, and said, no, the board's got to vote on it, to make sure it's official.
Well, it's just,
Once it's official.
they'll get a monthly report, just like anything else. They don't publish their minutes until they're okayed by the board as well, so it's the same thing. So tomorrow or sometime this week, they'll get a copy of
Copy of what we just read.
October's minutes.
Yeah, fine, doesn't matter.
It's just a lot. And unless anybody has any objection, I really do want to sit down with Greg and speak to him about how I spent some long, boring hours Monday afternoon reading the enterprise fund law. No electricity at work, I was sitting at home, nothing better to do, hey, I'll read this stuff. So I read the enterprise laws and
Where'd you
one of
find
the
that?
DOR's website.
Oh, on the internet?
Yeah.
The DOI's website, you can find
I
it?
got them printed off there in the car.
Really?
But, in any case, one of the things I would like to find out, it actually calls for a written calculation of indirects. I saw the amount of indirects we pay for 2 different departments using one office. To me, it's exorbitant. And I'd like to see it actually calls out a written calculation, written formula of calculation for indirects. So we've been fighting that fight for 15, 20 years. So Greg has agreed to sit down and talk about it. If anybody has any objection to that,
I don't.
I'd like to sit down with them and
Sure, not matter.
find out how they actually
Let me see your formula.
calculate them and
Where's your formula?
calculate them and see
Yeah.
it. And
Yeah, that's why we ended up hiring, I forget what his name was, on the water department and sewer department side, the guy that got us all set up in this. And he says how many hours each person works for us. And he compared his notes with the town's notes are not even close.
So it's been just one of those things that's always back there,
Well, matter of
Every time you see a new budget, it's like,
Well, as a matter of fact,
Choke on
when Louis retired, you were gonna have this extra money because I'm taking over his job, the indirect costs are up.
Both sides,
Yep.
water and sewer.
Tremendously.
Can you ask them not only the formula they're using now, compare that to the formula they used to use? So it can last for the,
Oh, yeah.
can
Yeah, I want to sit with them at some point. I've got some vacation days I have to burn before the end of the year. Probably burn one, set up an appointment with them and burn a day. What a way to spend the vacation.
Eye-opening for you.
I never had one.
Anything else? For the board? Motion to adjourn?
Make a motion, we adjourn?
Second? Second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous.
Wow.
6:50.
Let's do the same thing next month, Fred.